Hello, Libra, and welcome to your reading for the Pluto transits Aquarius. This is going to be a very long transit. Pluto is going to be transiting the sign of Aquarius for 20 years, or around 20 years, at about 19 now. It started back in November of 2024, and it's going to continue to move through the sign of Aquarius until around 2044. So this is a very long transit. We will come back here. I will come back here and bring messages in regards to this transit every few months or so, just as an update and a check-in, that sort of energy. The first thing I would look at, or I suggest and recommend that you look at, is where Pluto is in your natal chart, and that, well, in the transit, it is at 1 degree of Aquarius. So if you look at 1 degree of Aquarius, you can tell what house is activated. For many of you, this transit is going to go through more than one house. It's going to be bringing transformation to more than one area of your life. So you can look right now with it being at 1 degrees in a few minutes where that is and what is being transformed at this point of this transit and this cycle. So the first card that wants to show up for you is a joy of generosity. I've really loved, I'm glad I chose to do this, because I'll tell you the one thing that I have seen with almost every reading I have done so far is that the energy that's being transformed, and it's interesting because Aquarius is an air sign, is the energy, like I feel it's more in the spirit of people, in their soul, in their um just it can be their mindset as well, but I feel like it's transforming the energy out of a darker energy, right? Pisces was a water energy, so feelings can go deep and it can get dark and murky at the very depth, right? Hard to see things like that. But with this air energy, I'm feeling like this is bringing a lot more lightheartedness, a lot more joy, a lot more raising the frequency and the vibration of the universe collectively, individually, that sort of energy. Bottom of the deck is the treasure of abundance. And see how this seed is down there, almost like in the dirt, or this represents water. So it's in the dark part where these things are coming up to transmute that energy, and they're bringing it to the earthly plane. There is a frequency that is changing about our existence in this human lifetime, in this human experience that we are all having. We are all spiritual beings having a human experience, and now it's time to transmute that energy. It's trying to transform that energy from some of the darker parts of that experience into the lighter part of this human experience. So major transformation taking place, very major transformation taking place. Redirect your fire. So this gives me that energy of somebody taking a move in a look. Express your emotions at the bottom of the deck. This gives me redirect your fire is giving me that energy of shifting your focus, looking at things differently, leading differently, taking actions maybe in a different way. I feel this energy of, moving towards higher vibration, towards authenticity, towards or with integrity for sure, and towards connecting with those sorts of energies. It just gives me the vibe of redirecting your fire, is meaning you're taking action in a different direction, in a different way, and it can be in regards to different people, places, things, whatever this is. I feel like there is this alignment or this direction that is aligning you with the higher side of life, the happier, the more. We did see that abundance card, so that can be prosperity, abundance, and that is different for everybody. Everybody has a different perception on what that looks like, because it's different for everybody on their path and on their journey. So I do feel like this is taking a leap of faith, taking a new direction, focusing their time, energy, and effort in a different direction or in a different way, something like that. And it showed right up for you, treasure of abundance, right? So this feels to me, and I've seen this card come out a lot. time to play. I'm very surprised at how many times I've seen this is a pretty significant deck of cards, right? So there's quite a few cards, but this card has shown up almost in every reading I have done for whatever reason. I guess there is a really good reason. A lot of people have spent more time, energy, and effort working on establishing a home, a family, their finances, this, that, and the third thing. And I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying I feel with this card that keeps showing up at the expense of their own personal self, right? Where they haven't taken the time to live, love, laugh, have fun, enjoy, right? What they've manifested, what they've created, what they've brought into their life. They haven't taken the time to enjoy that. And I feel like this is could be part of what is shifting and changing for you right now. Like this could have been something, Libra, you are all about balance. So I feel like this could have been an area of your life that maybe was out of balance. Again, look at what house this is activating for you and gain additional information and insight. So let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see what this other energy wants to show up in the faithful way. So this is a definitely, I'm feeling a burning off of an old cycle. I'm feeling like this is taking direction in a new way, being true and honest with oneself, with their desires, with their vision of what the future looks like, stay in the flow. So I do feel like there is this whirlwind. I don't know why I feel it, but I do feel a whirlwind of change and activity that is taking place. I'm feeling it with this. I'm seeing the turbulence in the water down here, but I'm seeing the peace in the water over there. And I feel like this is what is shifting and changing, where there is this leaving behind of turbulent feelings, emotions, relationships, things like that is how I'm feeling with this, and heading towards the future that is more smooth, calm, peaceful, that sort of energy. I feel like this is where they're redirecting their fire towards that. It feels like in alignment with whatever that is. So let's grab a couple clarifying cards. And the first card that comes out to clarify the joy of generosity is the Chariot card. And I've seen this card not in so many of these readings, but I've seen it in prior readings. Every time this card shows up, I feel like I'm watching somebody move forward on their path. They're heading straight towards the prize or the finish line or whatever this is. And then there's this distraction that kind of gets their attention away from their focus, right? So be mindful of that. Yeah, look, the sun on the bottom of the deck. I feel like there is something that is being illuminated. Um, I feel like something, and I'm seeing the Six of Water to the Hangman to the Ace of Air. I do feel through this transit, there's going to give you, there you're going to receive some sort of clarity, Ace of Air, the truth, information on something that's had you stuck. And it can just be that aha moment where you're recognizing, like, damn, every time I'm moving forward and gaining momentum and things are happening, then all of a sudden like something pops up and it's like distracting. It takes your focus away from your direction or your movement and that sort of thing. I feel like someone's going to recognize this was a pattern, or something that just showed up as a pattern in their life. I feel like it's been something that has really brought them down and challenge been a challenge for them in a great way. But I feel like this is going to be illuminated. You're going to see it now and recognize it as the pattern, as a cycle that is just not for your greater good. It feels to me like being distracted. That's how I'm feeling it. And I feel once you see it, you can unsee it. There's the Eight of Water where you're leaving it behind. You're recognizing that it was something that was holding you back or keeping you, slowing you down, or that sort of energy. I don't know why, but I feel like, and I almost feel like if you have been that energy where everybody runs to when they need something and you're so busy helping and fixing and restoring balance and doing all kinds of good things in all these external situations at the expense of your own, where things could like be slipping through the cracks for you because you're distracted trying to be there for everybody else. This gives me the vibe that you are recognizing where you need to focus on self, your future, and then, be able to like feed from an overflowing cup versus dump your whole cup into everybody else's, feed everybody or fill everybody else's cup at the expense of your own. So take what resonates, release what doesn't. Next card that comes up to clarify, and this is the card I don't know if I showed it to you, but it was there. This is that card I was talking about in the past. This is Six of Water, does talk about past energy, could have even been experiences since childhood, but you see her and it's like she looks like she is not very comfortable, that she is in pain. I feel like this is coming from the sacral chakra energy, and it's where their time, and it's interesting that I'm saying sacral and there's that fire energy right up there. This is where someone's drive, passion, ambition, creative energy comes from, and I just feel like somebody has, like I said, been distracted by all these other external things that they, at the expense of themselves. Like they could be suffering as a result of getting off track, being um, distracted, that sort of thing, where it slowed them down, had them hanging in limbo. Things started not moving so quickly. I do feel that is shifting and that is changing. I feel like this is an eye-opening moment, or just that time of, oh my gosh, now I see it. I see where I keep getting off track. I see how I'm always in Libra as a, you as an energy and a high vibration. You love peace, balance, and harmony within relationships, right? That is one of your big things. You like what's right, fair, and just. And so I feel you've really spent a long time, or a big cycle, part of your life, chapter of your life, whatever it is, trying to be the one who restores all of that in many different situations. And again, it's giving me that energy where you're, pouring everything from your cup into all these other cups and leaving yourself short. And I don't feel like this is going to be I feel like this is what's being transformed. This is what's going to be released. This is what's going through some sort of a rebirth. Maybe the way you handle it, how you, I feel how you handle it, because there's something about the distraction that makes me feel like, no, you've recognized something. And that's your key. There's the Eight of Fire. This is what will change. This will bring instant, like quick, fast moving change. Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So again, I kind of feel you've spent a lot of time, energy, and effort like being a good person, maybe to the wrong people with the Seven of Swords. Like you've always been there, and then when you've been down and out, or you've needed to get back on track, it's kind of like you've had to do it on your own, is how I'm feeling. Seven of Swords to the Five of Fire. I feel these distractions were intentional distractions. No doubt I feel that. Seven of Air to the Five of Fire to the Eight of Air. These distractions seem to be distractions that want to come in with chaos, drama, all sorts of things like that. I feel like underhandedly they were done in a manipulative way in order to keep you focused in the wrong direction, or focused on solving their issues and neglecting your own. I feel like these were like somehow intentional distractions to keep you stuck in the past, to keep you living in the past, to keep you something like that. I feel you're liberating yourself and breaking free of whatever that is. Again, go check out what area of your chart this is. That will help give additional information. I feel once you see it and you can't unsee it, it really changes the game for you. I feel like it automatically just releases that brake that's been holding you back or keeping you stuck, and like propels you forward quite quickly. Five of water. Someone's going to experience a loss as a result of this. I feel like it's the energies that took for granted. I feel like it's the energies that didn't appreciate you or didn't respect your time, energy, and effort in a reciprocating way, is how I'm feeling with all of this. That is the Page of Fire at the bottom of the deck now. Let's see what's underneath that. Queen of Earth. Yeah, this is you somehow shifting, you making moves, taking action, making choices that are beneficial for you and your physical well-being, mind, body, spirit, your home, your finances, whatever this is for you. I'm feeling someone is more going to not get distracted by the focused and vision of their future to pretty much save everybody else, is how I'm feeling it. I know that could sound cold and harsh, but it's just how I'm feeling this energy that's coming through. I feel like someone has invested a lot of time, energy, and effort into helping others and doing this, that, and the other thing at the expense of their own self and their future and their vision. So I feel like that's an end. This is what's coming to an end. Someone is not, they're changing. It's not like they're not a kind, caring, compassionate person, but they are going to be shifting their priorities onto self. And I don't think that's a bad thing. So the next card that is showing up is, when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. And absolutely, like I said, I feel strong emotional, or like I definitely can feel the feelings in whatever this is. And I feel like somebody was consistently pouring out their cup to fill others, and now it feels to me like they've come to this aha moment, this, whatever you want to call it, this line in the sand or whatever, where they are recognizing, like, this is not sustainable. My cup needs to be filled. I need to be on track in order for me to continue to give, is how I'm feeling this. Bottom of the deck, and I love to see the color coordination. When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. And I do feel like you are seeing it differently. I don't feel like it's a bad thing. I feel like it's a good thing, right? It just may be uncomfortable for um, situations, people, places, and things that are not prepared, maybe, for this change in who you are, for this new and improved you, for you being a priority in your own life. That sort of energy is how I'm feeling. The next card that shows up, and this is from the Universe Has Your Back. So these are kind of guidance cards, just to give you that little I got your back, message to keep you moving forward and staying in alignment with your true north node, your true path. Thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Um, Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is of the highest good. And I mean, it's very clear, I feel to me, that you're seeing something that you were doing and recognizing that it's not sustainable, or it's just not beneficial for the greater good. And maybe at one point that was great and it worked, but I do feel there's this energy of knowing that's not the way forward now, right? There is a change. Like, we change from Piscean energy to Aquarian energy, and it does require adjustments and change to take place. My energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. So I have seen the word focus several times now in this message, and I was talking about this from the very beginning when we seen the redirect your fire. Like, I feel like someone has been distracted from their purpose, their focus, their vision, their future, whatever this is. I feel like someone has been distracted, and I feel like it turned ultimately ended up being like a pattern, a cycle, something on repeat, something that just kept showing up. And now all of a sudden, the awareness of that is here, right? Like I said, somebody pouring out their cup to fill other cups, and it's like they've seen something has shifted, something has changed, and they are being more mindful of the energy, where their energy is going, what they're focusing on, what they're even investing their time, energy, and effort into. I feel like there's a major change. Not everybody is going to like that, and you don't have to care. Happiness is my birthright. So, very beautiful energy I'm feeling with all that yellow. Gives me the sun. And so I'm feeling with this is like this is where someone is no longer like they're breaking a cycle. They're ending a cycle of being distracted to, do get others on track or help others or assist others in some way. I feel like this happiness is my birthright is them being mindful of these distractions are interfering with it, which is interfering with their happiness, their birthright of success, victory, moving forward, that sort of thing. It just gives me that vibe of somebody keeps getting distracted to be there for others when, it's not that I feel like it's not their job, right? I don't know why. I'm not trying to be cold. I'm just saying, right? Because we don't give people opportunity and a chance to grow and evolve and learn when we're always trying to fix something for them versus letting them learn so that they can grow and evolve through that. Bottom of the deck is when I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. So I feel like this is someone who was off course or distracted off their path and they're realigning, like they're aligning and I do feel really strongly about breaking an old cycle that I do feel has been around for a long time. Could have even been since you were a kid, where you were easily distracted or it didn't take much to get you distracted, and it just became a, a knowing, a comfort zone. This is the way it is, like almost a conditioned belief or something like that. I feel like somebody is not doing that anymore, is how I'm feeling. They're redirecting their energy in towards a more favorable position and direction, that sort of energy. The next card, my faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. And this is perfect, right? Absolutely. Like it could have been that trauma experience or conditioned belief system since someone was a kid. And I'm loving to see that there is healing. I'm loving to see this tree because I feel not only is there growth with this, but you see the roots are really, deep now, where they're growing a whole, this new um, I feel support system is how I'm feeling with this as a way and as a result of this shift and this change. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. And we did see the fun card show up out here. We also seen the Eight of Wands, which is sitting right there, which talks about things moving forward quickly. Um, and that does talk about growth, expansion, movement forward. So I do feel like life will really start kicking up its heels in a good way, where there's going to be bringing lots more opportunities, where things are going to be happening. Like it gives me that live, love, laugh energy again, where you are able to move forward and ascend from whatever that old cycle pattern habit, whatever this was. I feel like you're completing that out and going through a transformation into the new, into the future, into destiny and what is meant to be. Well, thank you, Libra, for being here. Please don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. I do appreciate you. And thank you for being here. I send you love and light. Have a great day.